I wanted to give you today another tip about Norwegian Cruise Line. I've got one post up that's about a credit card offer, but that's going to be limited to first quarter 2025. There are, in fact, other ways to save even more money on your next Norwegian cruise. Norwegian has what they call the Cruise Next certificate. And the way that they work is that people on board are allowed to buy them. They have a face value of $250. So the current passengers pay $250. They're immediately credited back with $125 of onboard credit, so that the net cost of these certificates is essentially $125. Here's the thing: Norwegian allows these certificates to be transferred to family and friends. So there is a market. It's quite large on Facebook, actually. There's several groups devoted to this, but there is a market for these certificates essentially being sold secondhand. And most of the time now that they have no expiration date, you're seeing these certificates sell for $125. You do not have to have previous sailing experience on Norwegian to buy them. So anybody, as long as you have a free Norwegian Latitudes account and Latitudes number, could go and buy one of these certificates for their next Norwegian cruise. In my opinion, buying these certificates secondhand is actually the better way to go. And here's why. When you purchase from the ship directly from Norwegian, right, you're giving them the money. You're basically locking yourself in, saying that, in the next year or two, I anticipate taking a cruise and it's going to be with Norwegian. But what happens if there's another cruise line offering a better deal, a better ship, a better itinerary? Or what happens if life happens over the next couple of years, some unexpected event, and then you're the one that's essentially stuck with this certificate trying to sell it? God forbid something happens to you and this certificate is just sitting in an account that nobody is ever checking and nobody even knows that it's there. If you plan to cruise Norwegian even a year or two from now, my suggestion is don't buy yet. Only buy when you need it. Now, one of the things that makes Norwegian certificates unique is that even though they say they're for a deposit, you do not actually have to put it on your account when you make the deposit on the trip. So if you're like me and you occasionally book a trip 18 months or 2 years in advance, knowing that there is some probability that you change your mind for whatever reason, you don't have to have the Cruise Next certificate at that time. According to the certificate's rules, you may place that certificate on your booking at any point before final payment is due. So even though I currently, and I do, have a trip planned with Norwegian for summer 2026, I have not put any Cruise Next certificates on it, and I won't until I know for sure that I am going to go on this cruise. So what I would say is you're probably safe starting to look for certificates to purchase 2 to 3 months before final payment is due. That gives you plenty of time to purchase the certificate, for the certificate to get transferred over to you, and for you then to contact Norwegian or go through your travel agent to have that certificate applied to your balance. One quick update here: that using my approach means you will have to put down more cash up front for the deposit. But again, I want to highlight that should you cancel this cruise, and many people do book and cancel cruises kind of over and over again, if you cancel and rebook this cruise, you get your cash back should you want to go on to a different cruise line versus being stuck again with that certificate tying you into Norwegian. Sometimes you'll find that Norwegian will run a double up promotion. And what that will allow is for you to apply 2 of these certificates onto your room so long as you have a balcony or higher. So now you're saving even more money. Occasionally, not very often, I don't see this very often, but once in a blue moon, you'll see them run either a double up on any room, which will allow you to apply 2 to an interior room, or they'll offer a triple up for balconies and above. So if you've got a balcony or above, you can apply 3 of these certificates. So how much will you save if you follow my advice? Well, each of these certificates has a value with Norwegian of $250. You'll see them on sale for $125 usually in the Facebook groups. Just go inside a group, post that you're looking for some. You'll have quite a few responses of people selling, or you'll see somebody post them for sale and you can reply. Just, of course, do your vetting. My suggestion, and you'll see this in a lot of the rules of these groups: pay using PayPal goods and services. I have purchased from probably half a dozen people over the years. I've never been scammed, but there is always that possibility. So I pay with PayPal goods and services, and I, as the buyer, cover the fee. There is an additional fee of about 3.5%. So you end up paying $130 for the voucher. It's worth $250, meaning that you're going to save $120 just from using one. If it's a double up, that's $240 in savings. And if it's a triple up, that's $360 in savings on a room that might only cost you $3,000. So you're kind of saving 10% or so on this room. So it's definitely something to look into. Be smart about it. Again, you could argue that if I'm buying them, I'm paying, $130, and I could have gotten it for $125 on the ship. But there's a big difference that I haven't cruised Norwegian in roughly 6 months, 7 months. I don't have another cruise booked for another year and a half. That money, that $120, $125 has been sitting in my account. It's been earning interest in a high yield savings account. So I've earned that money back. And of course, I have that money if I need it. And there is value in that. So that's my suggestion to you all. Your agents may not tell you about this program. My agent did not. I had to find it for myself while looking for ways to save money on cruises. So now I'm sharing it with you all. If you've got a Norwegian cruise planned or you're considering it, consider looking at those certificates. It's a great way to kind of save you just a little bit of money and make your vacation that much nicer. All right, all the best to you. Happy sailing. Let me know what you think of the video. I look forward to sharing more money saving tips. Thanks.